All right, well, welcome everyone. Thank you all so much for coming out this afternoon for our launching of the New Balance Hubway bike share system, bringing this to East Boston. Right? Yeah. So today this kicks off 10 bike stations here in East Boston, which is really a groundbreaking event for us. It knits together Orient Heights, Eagle Hill, Jeffries Point. Now you're just a short Hubway bike trip from these neighborhoods. And with stations near homes, small businesses, community centers, open space, residents now have a convenient and healthy way to enjoy their own neighborhood. I'm so grateful for the many partners who have helped us to bring Hubway Bike Share to East Boston. Young people with the neighborhood of affordable housing. They visited busy street corners across East Boston, talking with people about where Hubway should be located. The East Boston Neighborhood Health Center, our host for this afternoon, was a cornerstone in allowing us to bring bike share to this community. So a huge thank you to the East Boston Neighborhood Health Center. The East Boston Social Centers. They hosted several Healthy Community Champion events and funding through the Public Health Commission. They've been tireless in recruiting new bike share members. And you may have seen them here in East Boston, just across the street at the farmers market, taking your feedback about where these stations should go. The East Boston branch of the Boston Public Library, they hosted our community meetings in their beautiful meeting space. We brought the community together to show us where these stations should be located, and we're so grateful for that support. The Mayor's Youth Council, through which thousands of Boston's young people voted to fund 2 new bike share stations to improve transportation access. To a big shout out and a round of applause for the Mayor's Youth Council. But most importantly, I want to thank all of the residents who participated in this. And of course, Boston Bikes, led by Stephanie Seskin, Kim Foltz, your neighbor here in East Boston, Naja. I don't know if Naja's here. But the Boston Bikes just worked tirelessly and in such a short time frame to hold these community meetings, to site these stations, and to get them up and running this season. So thank you to Boston Bikes. But I really want to take an opportunity to thank the person who brought Hubway to Boston, and to East Boston in particular, who works tirelessly each and every day to improve the quality of life for our Boston residents. He's been a tireless champion of active transportation and all things related to mobility in the city of Boston. Your Mayor, Martin J. Walsh.
Thank you very much, Gina, and it's great to be here today. I want to thank Manny and everyone here at the East Boston Health Center for letting us to set up shop inside, so when we're pedaling, we're in safe places. So thank you very much, Manny, for that. I too want to thank Boston Bikes, and I want to thank all the other bike activists that are here today and any advocates. We've had somewhat of a difficult year this year with accidents in our roads. And we had a meeting in the office last week to talk really about how do we create more opportunities, more safe spaces, how do we create more opportunities of safe streets in our city. And a lot of the work that Gina's done and Chris Carter's done and Chris Osgood's done is really focused on how do we make sure that we have safe spaces. I know today's a little different conversation, what we're doing here, but it's at the top of our list as we're looking at planning out the city of Boston, the future of the city. We want to make sure that people understand that our city's multimodal transportation, whether it's bicyclists or walkers or vehicles, and that we all are going to exist together. We have to exist together, but we also have to make sure that we have good, safe spaces. So I want to thank everyone who was part of that conversation. I want to thank State Senator Joe Boncory, who's here with us today. I'm not sure if he's going to come up here and say a couple words in a few minutes. I want to thank Representative Madaro, Adrian. I'm not sure if Adrian's going to make it, and City Councilor Martina for their support as well. Gina pretty much covered it all. Hubway has been in Boston for over 5 years now. It's a program that was in place when I became mayor. We've taken it and expanded it, and we've put it on steroids, if you will. And now in East Boston, it really is a very popular way of transportation. It also helps us reduce road congestion, helps people to make sure they have healthy lives by getting exercise. It reduces greenhouse gas emissions by 80 by 50. We're adding stations here in East Boston, and we're going to see the same benefits of that. We have at least one bike designed by Artists for Humanity, I think, that's here with us today. So I want to thank the Artists for Humanity. I was talking to Susan on the way over today. We're also going to celebrate our neighborhood history through the bikes, through the different colors from the flags of the different countries represented. Not all the countries represented, but I know I can say Italy, El Salvador, Colombia, Brazil, and the international flag, refugee flag. There's a country missing, but I'll let it go for now. Small little island off the coast of America. It is there? Oh, it's there too. So we're good. Ireland is there. Ireland is represented. My mother will be happy. But I truly want to thank everyone. You know, when we can announce Hubways, this is like the third time I think since I've been mayor we'll be able to announce Hubways coming to a community. And it really is. It's funny. It starts out a little bit when people see them at first. They say, well, they're taking parking spaces. And then quickly you find there's no bikes in the rack. And you're seeing yourself how popular they are. And bringing stations to East Boston is certainly a benefit to not just to the East Boston community, but the entire region. So I want to thank you all for being here today. Thank you for being part of a really special announcement, and that we can continue to show that Boston truly is becoming a bike city and one of the best bike cities in America. We have work to do, but our goal is to make sure that we get there. So thank you very much. Yeah, in a minute. I think we have one more speaker.
Yep. One thing that I want to add is that these 10 new stations, what they've done is they have helped us reach a major milestone. Last week, we surpassed 5 million trips taken by Hubway users. 5 million. And more than 3/4 of those trips are taken by members, showing that our public bike share system is really a critical piece of our transportation network. I'd like to also welcome Captain McCormick, who's joined us here today. Thank you, Captain. And I'd like to welcome your new state senator, Joe Boncore, to say a few words.
Thank you for all for being here and helping launch this crucial and important asset to our community. You know, I'm bringing the greetings also of Councilor Lamartina, who is at a ferry meeting today. And as on the state level, as we're talking about the 21st century and how to best move this Commonwealth into the 21st century, we continue to talk about transportation and alternative means of transportation. So as me and Rep. Madaro are talking about that, it's great to be able to point to the city of Boston taking the lead across the Commonwealth in alternative transportation, like programs like the Hubway. So I want to thank Commissioner Fiandaca and Mr. Mayor Marty Walsh for bringing this to our neighborhood of East Boston. Hubway is a great asset to the neighborhood, like I said. It's a clean energy way to move about. It's a public safety asset, and it's a healthy way to move. And best of all, it's 24 hours. And can you imagine if Massachusetts, you know, had a regional 24-hour transportation system? What a novel idea, right? So really, in all seriousness, I do want to just thank the city for bringing this forward to this neighborhood, and I hope everyone will use it, because your use of it will be the greatest advocacy for programs like it. Thank you very much.
Okay, so now we get to the fun part. So many of you came to our community meetings and agreed to take a survey, called our team with ideas, and sent in letters. So today we want to recognize a few of the organizations and the people who became the faces and the voices of Hubway here in East Boston. In recognition of all of your work, we're giving you a key to the city in the form of a golden Hubway key, as well as a year's membership to the system. So first up, Neighborhood of Affordable Housing Youth Crew member, Michael Pissarello. Okay, Michael? Michael, you can take a picture with the mayor.
Cool, huh?
Stephanie? Thank you. Okay. Next up, East Boston Neighborhood Health Center, Chief Medical Officer Jackie Fontes, and Health Center CEO Manny Lopes. Dr. Fontes?
Thank you.
That's for you, Doctor.
Oh,
That's for you. You each get one. And that includes the membership, so we have to see you on the bike. Picture.
Let's get a picture, come on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, East Boston Social Center Healthy Community Champion, Lisa Malara. Lisa, your key. Next up, Arts for Humanity Design Team member Spartacus Nguyen. Spartacus, your key.
Thank you so much.
Thank this man.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Our most enthusiastic new member. Okay, and finally, East Boston resident and tireless Hubway advocate, Margaret Farmer. Margaret, your key.
I'm going to put that
Your
to use.
envelope.
Thank you very much.
All right, well, thank you all so much for being here. We have one more thing to do. We would like all of our key holders to come up and help us.
Okay.